And welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to change this pretty dull, pretty boring tree photograph into an epic black and white silhouette negative space image using Camera Raw and the raw image format. Okay, so what you're going to want to start out with doing is clicking the black and white option. Now this already looks very good. I was quite lucky with my image. When I took the image of a tree, if you're aiming to do this, aim the camera into the light, into an area that doesn't have much clouds or coverage of anything else, and it's just a tree in the foreground, midground, and in the background you want sky. If there is a few things in the background, you can edit them out of post-process, but to save you some hassle, it's better just doing this from the start and taking it right from the start, rather than faffing about with all that later. Okay, so you want to get the exposure and turn it up again, and also this is different for most photographs, and it's completely up to you what you do with it. I have a personal preference. Your preference would be different to mine. So I'm going to bump the exposure up a bit, turn the contrast up to highlights up, and what I'm aiming to do is basically make the background essentially white and the tree black. Now this is already somewhat achieved by just clicking the black and white option. However, to make it more extreme, this will help make it more extreme. Shadows, turn those down. Whites, and it's all about playing around with it. If you're new to Photoshop Raw, honestly, the best thing you should do is just grab these and just turn them up and down as much as you can. I like that a bit darker. I don't want the background to be pure white, but I want it to be sort of a grey, greyish white. Yeah, sort of yeah. So these two slider hairs are affecting the extremity of the black and white colours. By turning black down, it's, as you can see, it's making the blacks blacker. By turning it up, it's making the blacks whiter, and vice versa with the whites. So I want the white to be down and the black to be down to about there. Now, if you do it all the way, you notice that it loses quite a lot of detail. I don't want to do that just yet. I don't mind the background losing detail because that doesn't really matter in this image. Texture is quite an important aspect, especially with tree photography. As you can see, if I turn it down, it almost smoothens it over, and if I turn it up, it becomes a lot harsher. Now, I want it to be harsh, but probably not that harsh. Probably about there. Looks good. Clarity is somewhat the same. As you can see, turning it down smooths it over. It almost... yeah, obviously for this image, but that looks way too extreme, so I'm probably going to keep that at about 0. Dehaze, I wouldn't, for these images you don't really need to, I might bump that up a little bit. And yeah, that's basically it for now. However, there's a few things I'm going to do in post-process, not on Camera Raw when it's JPEG, like edit out that cloud and stuff. So let me click open, and it should open in Photoshop. It shall. Okay, so I'm not really sure if you can see in the video, but if we zoom in, you can see tiny little dots there, tiny little dots up here, and they're really, really, really annoying. This just comes from a camera sensor and mirror, and it can get quite annoying. The reason why, so in a normal image that wouldn't actually appear. However, because I upped the dehaze a little bit, it will appear. So what I want to do now is select the lasso tool, edit out this cloud. Now, if you right click it and click fill and select content to where, normal at 100% okay, and it vanishes. Like, look at that. It's really, really cool how this works. Now, if you haven't realised already, my channel art for my YouTube is actually another image similar to this. However, it's from a different angle. It's the same tree. It's really, really nice. But with that, you'll notice that the white is a lot more extreme. What I did there is I got the quick selection tool and went around making all of it white and the tree black. However, I don't really want to achieve that in this image, but you might want to. So if you do, if you don't want to achieve the white, click Magic Wand tool and go around, and because the tree is so black and the background is so different, it shouldn't really crop any of the tree, which is good. And yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around the image just sort of taking out these little dots. You might not have these. My camera is sort of old. Well, not sort of old, but I've had it for a long time, so dust and stuff will eventually build up in the lens and mirrors, etc. Now, you might be saying this is kind of grainy up here. Yep, that's also dehaze and the texture. What you want to do with these photographs is shoot in a low ISO, which basically ISO, if you don't know, is the camera sensitivity to the light. So obviously, the lower the ISO, the lower sensitivity, however, less grainy. I think this image was shot in ISO 400, which is pretty low. Now I look back on it, I would like it to be a little bit less than that. But yeah, and you notice that you can only really notice the dots where it's a lot brighter. And even still, you can't really notice unless you zoom in. I think that's the majority of them done now. Also, if you don't like any of the changes you can do, if you've done, just click Ctrl Z and it will undo it. And yeah, it's quite a quick tutorial, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I will show the before and after in the next slide. Let me just deselect that so I don't delete it. There we go. And yeah, it's quite a simple process to do. It can be a bit confusing in Camera Raw because there's so many different sliders. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.